you see me gazing around. It is using a what should we say? The first reserve is not as good as using the first team, I'm afraid. So we have to put up with its limitations. But it's trying to do. It's working its heart out to try and do things for us. We've got the link sent to Mellissa, and hopefully she'll be around, and we'll be able to chat to her. Certainly, when we spoke to her yesterday, she was all ready to come on this morning. At that time, we didn't know that our computer was going to crash. And so it's made life a bit difficult this morning, as if we don't have technically, we have a lot of trouble. And it's basically because we're broadcasting from an old hotel. And the experts say, well, get out of the hotel. But this is our home. This is where we live. This is where we broadcast from. This is where we feel comfortable. And we don't want to. So it's a question of cracking the technical part of things. But let's hope that, this looks pretty good at the moment. Let's hope that when we get Mellissa on, that the whole thing is okay, and that it's all working. Shall we try to perhaps bring a little program or something, see how that works? We certainly can try. We can try, and TGIF is what I say. It's TGIF. To do with the laugh face. Let's just see, shall we? Certainly, there's a delay between us actually summoning things and them appearing. Good morning, John.
Good morning. I'm amazed to find you here.
Well,
not live at the moment, are you?
Yes, we are. Can I sit down?
Yeah.
I know. Okay.
That was a punishment.
I'm like the aliens that was Galaxy Quest. Never give in, never surrender. You'll recognize this, of course.
Yes.
Are you setting yourself in?
round sausages. Is the trouble is you put them into a frying pan, and you know what? They roll around everywhere. Now, I don't like my sausages rolling around because, quite honestly, it's not healthy to see them doing that. Sausages have sensitivities too, you know. I mean, people may not realise that, but until they actually pop into the pan, it's on an equivalent, I would have said, with the odd lobster, the odd shrimp, and of course, your favourite, what are those squelchy things? You're a great man for eating those oysters, aren't you?
Oh, I am.
Oh, well, I always have a thought for those little oysters. You know, it's all very well. There's another friend of mine who is, I can't remember who it is. I'll tell you who it is. He might even be watching at the moment. His name is Peter, and he lives in the sort of Kemp Town area, or has a little shop in Kemp Town in Brighton. And on the odd occasion, he will put up a message, as you so often do, Keith, frighten the life out of me with your messages, I'll have you know. He'll say, you know what, I've got good news, he said. I've just seen that Lidl, that's a well-known supermarket store, he said, Lidl, or both, he said they are currently have on offer, they have actually oysters. Well, no, it wasn't oysters, Keith. It was worse than that. It was snails. Oh, now come on. Now, do you like snails?
Oh, I do.
I knew you would.
Yes.
The moment I walked in this room this morning, I thought, there is a man who likes snails to the point of eating them. Now, you see, I have sympathies with snails.
Yes.
I think we should remember.
A mass murderer here.
Well, indeed. Yes, I mean, they have. Why do you think they have shells? Oh. It's a pity you don't have a shell, you know, Keith.
Yeah, well, nobody's going to eat me, I don't think.
If you had a shell, Keith, you could sort of snuggle up into that shell, and you'd be safe forever from all the arbiters and all the nasty people, like the tax people and the local council and all the rest of them. They'd say, hello. That looks like Keith in one of his shells. You see?
I mean, I was going to say is I would give anybody indigestion, but all those people you just met give you indigestion anyway.
Well, exactly. I mean, oh dear, well, I cracked their shells open for a start. Funnily enough, of course, as many viewers will know, the former days I did actually work for Shell. I actually worked for Shell Petroleum Company in the Houndsditch warehouse in the happy days just after the war. Remember the war?
I
remember it.
Yeah.
He was the reason that we went to war. This man is.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's very true. Yes,
it is true. I mean, I've served Queen and Country, as we all know, and now the King. I'm not so sure about the King. Your friends this morning, those barrister blokes, those intelligent blokes you had on, I saw them. They were going on about the King and the Queen Camilla playing ping pong. I saw it. No, I mean, come on. You know, as one of them said, and he was quite right, I think, I don't think the former Queen Elizabeth would have been sat there playing ping pong. I mean, it's not on. Have you ever played ping pong or table tennis?
Oh, I have. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Funnily enough, I was quite good at it. You've got to have a good ball sense, I think we can safely say. We used to have a program in the early days of local radio devoted to people playing table tennis. It's a very boring program, but if you like table tennis, I mean, you switch on, you see.
Yes.
So we used to get hundreds of them and discussing the height of net. I mean, it's very important, the height of net when you're playing table tennis. And also, of course, the actual boundaries, because have you noticed some of these really good players, they stand about a mile away from the end of the table.
Oh.
I mean, I never did that.
No. It was
over. Exactly. And I had a very good way of serving but I won't go into the details now. No. So it's lovely to be here, Keith. I'm still nice to see you.
I have a serious question.
Oh, yeah.
Because you raised sausages at the beginning. Do you think that the sausage fraternity are offended by being called bangers?
Do you know, it's a question. I woke up in the middle of the night the night before last, I thought that very, very point. And I didn't really have an answer, unfortunately. And the trouble is, when you wake up in the middle of the night and you don't have an answer, you probably don't go back to bed because
No,
you spend
no,
the rest of the night thinking,
worrying about it.
oh dear,
Yeah.
oh dear, oh
Yeah.
dear, oh dear.
Now, is there a sausage council or something that we can actually
Well,
go
I
and
think
ask?
there probably is actually, yes. In fact, I'll try and find out. I was in touch once upon a time with the cheese marketing board. That was interesting. That was really interesting because I had a little idea that I put to them to raise a bit of money relating to cheese. I won't go into detail now because obviously if I give those ideas to other people...
Oh, they'll run away with them.
Exactly.
Oh, people are dreadful like that.
If you've got a good
Very
idea...
unethical.
Square sausages, for example, we shouldn't have mentioned it.
No, somebody will steal it.
Well, my wife, one day she was watching one of these gourmet type or one of these chef type programs, and she let out a shriek. It frightened her. Honestly, I was terrified at the time. I thought, oh Lord, that bloke, that dreadful bloke, he's come on the television again. That dreadful bloke who's in all the news at the moment. What's his name?
Oh, right.
We can't remember his name.
No.
Oh, dear.
You're talking about a chap that's branded.
Oh, yeah. That's the bloke I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I've got views on that, but I don't intend to express them today. What I hope to do in the very brief time that we have available to us is I thought I do try to bring a little bit of innovative quality to these channels. And I thought we've had a bit of culture fairly recently. We talk about Max Miller, of course. We've had a little bit of music. You may remember the famous Swanee whistle.
Yeah.
That was very popular, actually. I got a lot of messages about that, mostly rude ones telling me what to do with it. However, and then, of course, I think on another...
Mr. Fox.
Yeah. The what?
Mr. Fox.
Oh, the Fox was lovely. Everybody loved that, actually. No, I mean, it's something different. So today, remembering not only Max Miller, but also remembering a man that was very much part of that genre was, of course, the wonderful Tommy Cooper. Oh, now, Tommy Cooper was very, very special. And I did meet him once. I've got a photograph to prove it. It was in a store in Croydon, and he was not well at the time. However, a wonderful man, and I've got several books by him, and a lot of his jokes, wonderful jokes. Don't have them today, fortunately. But I do have a little... I used to like doing tricks. And I thought, well, I'll tell you what, we'll try a little bit of magic today. Now, this will be difficult. I have to say that this will... So I want everybody, basically to bear with me, first of all. Remembering my age, of course, that must be taken into consideration. And the fact that I'm not quite, in terms of the fingers and all the rest of it.
You're not going to throw me in half, are you?
It could go desperately wrong, but we're going to try. Would you like to try?
Oh, well, it depends.
Oh, no.
What part of it do I have to play?
No, a very simple part. Now, I have here, I'll show everybody. I think we'll be able to see this. You can see that. There it is. I'll hold it up to the camera. Yes, it's a numbers board, you see.
Yes.
And there are, as you can see, I hope viewers can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards there. And there are 5 cards here. And what I'm going to do, can I do this trick?
Yes, you can.
We'll have a go then.
Yes.
I'm going to move.
Doesn't involve a straw, you're welcome.
I'm removing one card. It's a bit difficult, but there it is. I'm putting it down there. And I'm going to remove that one as well. There we go, removing it. Right. All right, everybody, so far. I'm going to remove this card as well, you see. We'll come to that in a minute. This is, I hope it will work. You never know. It's always a gamble. And then I'm going to remove this one as well. Now, I'm going to keep those cards. Those are mine. And I'm going to give these cards to you. Do you ever play cards, Keith?
Occasionally.
Oh, well, these are not the normal sort of cards you'll be going to. I'm putting it down there, viewers. There's the other one too. You can see me doing this, I hope. Yes, it's all genuine, absolutely genuine. And that one goes there, and that one goes there. So you've got 5 cards. I've got 5. I'm going to put this down there at the moment.
Am I allowed to pick them up?
You pick your cards up. He's going to pick up. Right. You show them to everybody if you want to. It's all right. It's perfectly all right. Just show the cards. They're not hearts and clubs and things. Hold it up a bit. Okay. There you are. They've got circles. They've got squares. They've got little wiggly woggly lines. And they've got a star as well. There's a star. Okay. Right. So you can put that down again. Now, I want you to shuffle those yourself as I'm going to shuffle mine. Here we are. We're shuffling the cards now, ladies and gentlemen. I warn you, this could go terribly wrong. And if it does, I will be out of that door within 15 seconds searching for square sausages. The reason my wife actually squawked in the middle of a television program was because actually there was an item that actually had square sausages. And she said, John, they were watching Mirador television. I said, I know that. The only program we don't have is Chefs. You used to do a bit of cooking in the early days, I remember. I can remember that. Well, now what we're going to do now, as part of this amazing trip, he's got his cards, I've got mine, and they're all the same. Look, mine, well, you can't see, but I'm going to assure you they are the same as his cards, right? Be assured of that. Then I'm going to bring this board back here for a moment. And can you see that, everybody? Yeah. And I'm going to put my cards behind here. See? So I'm putting my cards behind here. My own free choice. So I have to be careful about this. Keith can see you. He'll vouch whether I'm doing it properly.
Yes.
Right. That one, right.
And France is his middle name.
It's entirely my choice. I think I'm going to put that one there. I think, will it go there? Go. There it goes. That's it. Right. I have to be slow about this. I've got a wobbly one there. There's a wobbly one. Have you got a wobbly one? We won't go down there. No. I mean, have you personally got a wobbly one? You do have a wobbly one. There is one there. I can see that. Okay. Now, here we go. And then I've got two left. So I'm going to put, I'll put this one there. Look. Right. Down there. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
And then finally, I'm going to put this one. This is the circle, everybody. I'm going to put that down there. Right. So I've done that. See? Everybody can see that. They're all my cards. 1, 2, 3. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it up. You see? Very carefully turn it up. So I've turned it over. And now it's your opportunity, Keith, to choose the numbers and tell me where you want me to put your individual card. So take a card, any one you like.
All right.
Right.
Let's see if I can find the wobbly one. No, but still, I've got
it doesn't matter which one. Anyone will do.
Yes.
Bring it to me, please. I will hand it to me.
Are you allowed to see it?
Yes, 100%. Doesn't matter.
Very well.
Right. Now, I want you to tell me where you want this square to go. Do you want it to go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? That's the question.
4.
You want it to go in number 4. Right. Okay. Right. Now, take that back for a moment because there is a slight anomaly here. I've got to remove my cards. Sorry about that because I forgot I should have put them there and then you can put them. I'm sorry, Keith. See, it's a long time since I've done
this. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to put them back there, but I should have done this in the first place. Because that's a bit, see. So,
nice.
There, see. So I'm removing them all again, ladies and gentlemen. Make yourselves a coffee because this could take quite a long time. Right, here we go. I've done that. Stupid me, John. I knew, John, you should have rehearsed this. Sylvia says, don't, I don't think you ought to do it. I mean, all those square sausages.
No. I love unrehearsed stuff. I said this morning we are remembering Jack DeManio today.
Oh, I saw that. Deep respect to Jack DeManio.
Absolutely.
So now I can turn exactly. Now I can turn it up, and you can put it in these numbers. See, that's where I went wrong. So what I'd like you to do now with that card, that first one, whichever one it is,
right?
I'd like you to tell me where you would like it to go.
All right.
Which one? Where would you like it?
Into number 2 now.
Into number 2. You hand that to me, and I'm going to put it there. As you watch me doing it. Am I putting it in there?
Yes.
In you go. Right. Okay. Now then, you've got another card. You can't see this, ladies and gentlemen, but the end result you will see. Right. Another card. Doesn't matter which one it is.
Yes.
Right. You've chosen that one. Right. You all see what that is, ladies and gentlemen. And where would you like me to put this one?
5.
You put this in number 5 along there. Right. Okay. In it goes. Yep, that's done. And now you've only got 3 cards left, I think. So with another card, please. My goodness me, this is filling time, John. I'll say that for it. Here we are. That's the one, ladies and gentlemen. It's the circle. Where would you like me to put that?
One.
Number 1. Right. Here we go. Well done. And we've only got 1, 2, 3. We've got 2 left. Have you? Yes.
I have.
So free choice. Where would you like the one? That one. That one. Where would you like that?
Got left.
What number?
What have I got left?
It's a cross. You've got. I think you've got. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3. So it's these 2 here. 4 and 3.
4.
You'd like it to go into number 4, right? There we go. So you see that? And then finally, you've got, unless you want to change your mind. Change your mind, Keith.
Oh,
No.
I dropped my card.
All right, well, take your time. People think this is all rigged. You'll pick the card up, and it's the final card, ladies and gentlemen. It won't take long to pick up, or I can pick it up for you.
This is a health spot.
Yes.
Because one of the things with Parkinson's is
I know
you have difficulty when you drop your cards on the floor
I know
and
that.
picking them up.
Well, I'm going to put the board down, and I'm going to pick it up for you.
Thank you.
Ta-da!
I think I need that.
It's all right. There we go. So they'll think this is part of the trick, but it isn't part of the trick.
No.
So we're
It's
back.
all above board so far.
And yes, and all you've got to do now is put that in the final number 3.
Number 3.
Well, it's up to you, or you could put it somewhere.
No, we'll stick with this equals.
Right. So now, in point of fact, we can. And the amazing thing, you won't realise this. This is the end of the trick. But a lot of people will understand this. They'll say, do you know, those 2 people, those 2 elderly people, they probably think alike, act alike, behave alike, and they should be arrested. You're right. But
You're right about the arrest.
The amazing thing is, I mean, I had a free choice. You had a free choice. Are you right?
Yes.
100%. Or you could have changed your mind. Well, what actually you've done, miraculously, is
Yes.
they have compared all the cards are complete.
Even the wibbly wobbly is
Even the wiggly wobble is the same. The hearts, you chose it freely, and I chose it freely, and you've
and
done.
look what's happened.
Would you not agree, ladies and gentlemen, that is worthy of David Nixon, David Berglos, Penn and Teller, or even Tommy Cooper?
It's more impressive than a square sausage.
Not a bad little trick, that one.
Not
a bad track. That I may try that at one of my cabarets.
Indeed.
I am open to offers for cabaret these days, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Children are welcome to come to these events, I have to say. We will talk about square sausages and the rest.
Absolutely.
So
that's very impressive.
Where is the young lady, Beth? Is she okay?
Yes, she was here, but her husband is feeling a little dicky this morning.
Is he?
So she's dashed off to make sure he's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of it about you.
There is.
In fact, our good friend, Mr. Kramer, who I happen to know will be watching at the moment with bated breath. What does bated breath mean?
I don't know.
You've never thought about that?
No.
Well,
I mean, it's meant to express awe and excitement and anticipation, is it not?
Yes.
But where the hell that word bated
I
came
don't
from? I have no
know.
idea.
I think it probably sums up most viewers to Mirador, really. Anticipation, awe, and occasional.
They never know what's going to happen next. That's for damn sure.
Well, we don't know. So there we are, Uncle Keith. A trick.
Is Mr. Kramer is watching? Is he?
Oh, what?
Did you have a message for him?
Pardon? Well, I told you, Kevin. I said I'd be there. I'll go and look after the old chap. And he said, "Oh well, somebody's got to." And I said, "I know. It's going to be me." I said. And his message to you, Keith, effectively is well done, but take a bit of advice from him. He's a very good man for advice, and I know you will, and I know we share in that common interest,
Right.
and therefore it's all for the good. Here's to next week, fingers crossed. We'll see how things go,
Yes.
but don't give up, Keith. That's the message, mate. And I'll see whether I can find another trick next week.
Oh, great.
That was quite
Yeah,
a good trick,
no,
though, wasn't it,
it
ladies?
was.
Look, I mean, there it is. It's still there. I mean, you may not be able to see it properly.
Yeah. Now you've got me fretting about sausages. I feel that they're under threat.
Mm.
And I wonder whether we should go to Mr. Richards,
Oh,
who is famous for his sausages at the top of the town,
yes.
and trying to get him to make square sausages under license.
Well,
so they're protected.
I'll have a word.
We copy square sausages.
Yes, well, that's a very good idea and worthy of a mention, of course. Meaning, of course, we might very well get a free sample of sausage.
Well,
you never know.
absolutely, yeah.
Mention things like that.
Yes.
I mean, I know it's a
Free square sausage. Oh, the main box. Yeah.
Well, I think that's it really for me. I don't know about anybody else.
Well, I mean, it's as usual, delightful. The only thing is that you did not pull that out of the bag.
Well, that was because, to be fair, it's a rather a large item.
Yes,
and then
you could have poked out. You could have had its nose poking out of the bag.
I'll bring the bag
Yes.
on the next
I
occasion.
mean, it's almost like asking you to come on nude without the bag.
Well, I do feel a little bit like that, I have to say, but not completely. I mean, it's so bit chilly at the moment. Have you noticed?
It is. It's down to 17 degrees today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I like it. I prefer it. I feel happy.
It's cooler than hotter. I
Right.
agree with you.
Yeah.
But I wonder whether, in fact, it's presaging an early winter.
Yeah, I think that, well, I don't even know that's true, you see, because I don't think the concept of winter, autumn, summer, spring probably stands much chance in the future. I think it's going to be whatever happens to come along at the time. And then they'll have to think of other names for it. But I'm not sure. I think it's all merging into one, and it's the degree of uncertainty. And my goodness me, do we know about uncertainty here? Oh, dear.
Oh, indeed.
I am uncertain whether to get up in the mornings. He's uncertain whether Mirador is going to wobble on for another day. But we carry on.
Absolutely.
Damn it.
Regardless.
Damn it.
Now, I want you to stay where you are, because first of all, we have beauty, which is a little bit. But secondly, we are going to a place, the Big Apple.
United States of America, I salute you.
Indeed.
Dun, dun, dun,
As long as the
dun,
system will
dun,
help us.
dun, 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 dun. You mean there's someone
To image.
Gracious.
Come
I'm
on.
here. I think
It's,
I'm here.
There we go.
This is clever.
It is, isn't it?
How did you know that, Keith? I'm in awe.
There. Now.
With the little bit of
Miss Mellissa, here is your favorite man.
time now, Keith. This is a very serious moment.
It is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've achieved one magic trick. We're now attempting another one. This is communicating across the Atlantic, and I'd rather do it this
Wow.
way than by boat. I'll tell you
Yes,
that, you know. Anyone going cruising at the moment, could you imagine cruising around the United Kingdom at the moment with these conditions? No.
No.
Yet thousands are doing it. Hundreds and thousands, up and down, up and down. A friend of mine went across the Atlantic on the QE2 and spent the entire voyage in his cabin. It
Yes.
was up and
And
down.
down, up and down.
That's why I went into the Royal Air Force, because you fly over it. Whereas within the Navy,
I'm not sure that the magic is going to work. Come along.
well, you've got to
Come
persevere.
along, absolutely.
Keith, Kevin, the whole
We're
world.
almost there.
Bear with us, which is a dangerous thing to say when you're dealing with elderly people.
It is.
I'm vanishing.
Well, I think Mellissa is having a quiet giggle there.
I think she's hysterical.
I
God, these English people.
I can hear you.
Don't believe it.
Why it's not kicking in, I do not know.
There you see.
Now we lost.
Meantime, I'll give you a small selection from Oklahoma, which seems a
Yes.
I've got a beautiful feeling. Nothing is going our way. There's a bright Keith haze on the meadow. Keith.
Unknown caller.
That's you.
I have no idea who it is, but it can't be a colleague because because they would know that we're broadcasting at this time of day.
I'm gonna be in a hell of a hurry. I was born in the USA. It's an easy thing to say. Hey, hey, I'm away. A voice in the past,
Well,
a blast from the past. It's driving young Keith.
we know that she's there. We can try once more. We give it one more try to see whether we can cross the Atlantic this morning. I can't really blame this poor old computer. It's tried its best to help out this morning, and it's not just clicking in at the moment, unfortunately. I'll check to see whether everything's in place. It is, but no, it's not working. It is not working, unfortunately. But for those people who are new to Mirador, I mean, first of all, we're quite used to things going wrong. We are Jack DeManio relived. And for those, once again, who don't know who Jack DeManio is, he was a BBC DJ of the 1950s, 1960s, who could never get anything right.
Yeah.
Never get anything right. It's himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Now the young man, listen.
Yes.
I brought a very interesting person to see you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Are you still in business this morning, so to speak?
Right.
Well,
Come and bring him in then.
this is Sarah, and she's just opened an art gallery.
Come and sit down, Sarah.
Yes, over there. Yeah.
I should warn you that this is as quirky a television station as you'll ever get. Our computer crashed yesterday, so we went down to the reserve training ground.
Yeah.
We got this one, and it's doing its best. It hasn't played for the first team for quite some time.
Right.
So we're in and out, up and down, backwards and forwards. But so far, we've got a picture locally.
Great.
We just went to New York, and it didn't work this morning. Anyway, tell us all about yourself, Sarah.
Well, hang on a second. Let me just explain. We have this program which is called Having a Conversation with Stuart. I'm just talking to you as if we're having a touch in the button.
Uh-huh.
No, we did Nito, who's a great friend of mine, you know. And so what I'd like to do is just to talk to you. Would you?
Do you want to come in and do it?
Shall I do it? Yeah.
Right.
What would you like
Okay.
to do? No, all right. you know, pertinent, what's it?
Sit down.
Lovely. I most certainly will. Didn't even get a chance for a cup of tea. I mean, cup of
What
tea.
do you expect? God's sake. You want me to bring your bed in here?
I know you regard me as a tea boy around here, but no, it's it's a very nice program, really. You know, it's all friendly and local sort of thing. Right. So now, what's your surname again, sorry?
Yes, so I'm Sarah Norris.
Okay. Right. Oh, okay. You got a cushion quickly. It's too low for me, other one.
Okay. Where's the cushion?
Right.
I'll get one from there.
Up and down. Up and down. There you go.
That'll do it. Or will it?
If that one doesn't do it, you're not going to get another one. No. Go on.
Right.
So
There you
does
go.
this go out live every morning?
Yeah, every week, everyone.
Oh, right, great.
Right. So
It's
it's
very religious. We don't broadcast on a Saturday.
right. It's just, no. So you say yes, Sarah.
Sarah, yes.
Sarah. What?
Sarah Norris.
Good. All right. Here we go. It says.
There you go. Right.
Oh, here's one, right?
Now, you want me to end this bloody program, so
Right.
you go ahead and I'll lurk in the background.
Yeah. Lurk's the right word.
So this is very exciting.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead.
Right, can we start now, please?
Yeah.
Oh, we're on, fine. My
This
dear
is what you
fellow.
didn't have.
Right, hello. Good morning, everybody. It's Stuart Dorby again. Remember me? Energy Matters and Conversations with Stuart Dorby. Well, this morning I've got a very, very interesting friend to actually come on to tell us about her life. This is Sarah Norris, who is just recently opened a art gallery in Lewes, and just down the road from where I'm speaking to you now. So, Sarah, how do you come to? Well, let's start. You're an artist, okay? Where were you born? Where do you live? And
Oh, well, I'm not originally from Lewes.
No.
I came to Lewes via growing up in Leicestershire
Yeah.
and then going to Swansea University in Wales, and then from there London, and then London to Lewes, like many people do.
So, what did you do reading in Swansea University?
I read English and philosophy.
Blimey.
So
I always think of philosophy students as people who are never going to get a job, but never mind.
yeah, that might not be the first time I've heard that.
Anyway, carry on. So you philosophy and English, and then you graduated to art somehow, or
Yes. So although I'm not actually an artist myself,
Yeah.
I really like working and being friends with artists.
as a curator, as it were.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes. So I studied curating, and I started an organisation called Lewes Arts when I first came to Lewes, and that was a series of artist talks and an internet platform spreading good news about Lewes and the artists, because we have such an amazing, great.
Well, this is very, very interesting, isn't it? Because you're in the right place. Antiques down the road, down the bottom there, and art galleries.
Yes.
There's loads of them. And later on, we'll come to a bit of a controversy. But so you've got this situation where you're encouraging art galleries in Lewes. Yeah.
Yes, I'm really interested in collaboration and sort of spreading the word about what's going on. So I opened the gallery. So I created a project called Women in Art. So we are WIA, and that was like an online platform that I was doing when I was in London. And when we came back to Lewes recently, there came an opportunity for an art gallery. So WIA Gallery stands for Women in Art, and we are dedicated to showing emerging and established women artists and spreading positive news stories about women artists and their work.
Well, it's very, very interesting. For example, I told you about my relationship with Nita.
Yes.
I mean, she wouldn't be having that thing unless I am a patron.
Yeah, we all like patrons of the arts.
Well, I mean, you see, for example, I'm going to a private good evening, and which is very interesting because I don't know whether I should jump to this, Keith. What do you think? Keith?
Yes, I'm listening.
I'm just worrying whether if I started talking about the Charleston thing, I'll be taken. We'll leave it to later. Yeah, so let's leave that to later. But the next thing is, so Nita, for example, favours local artists.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and I think that it's fine for her. But there are lots of other galleries which are up and down the high street and down the bottom and round the corner, and so on and so forth. So that's a very, very good thing you're doing. And how far have you got, and how far are you taking? You've got one gallery going.
Yes, got one gallery going currently. So that opened in March with a local artist, Lewes-based artist Helen Hockin, which was an amazing show. And then we had artists from London, and then we had some local artists. And the current artist that I've got at the moment is Nessie Ram.
Oh, yeah.
She's very interesting. She's a Sussex-based artist, and she overpaints road signs, and they're such beautiful pieces. So she'll have an old road sign and she'll repopulate it over the message. So it might say "reduce speed now," and then it will be populated with wild flowers and what we might think are weeds overgrowing it. But this really beautifully drawn, really great draftsmanship and beautiful bright colours.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting, isn't it? Now, I think probably now, Keith, I could talk about the Charleston situation, can't I?
Yes.
Now,
What
I don't
do you
know
think
if you.
about Charleston?
Huh?
What do you think about Charleston?
Well, what do you think?
I think it's a great thing.
Right.
I do. I think it's
Right.
really great.
Right now,
yeah.
let me tell you, it's a very controversial situation here.
Yeah.
Because the Southover House,
Yeah.
which was the district council's, by the way, was given to Charleston free for 5 years,
Yeah.
right? And rent free,
Right.
right? That meant us, council tax, our taxes were paying £167 a year,
Yeah.
okay? And that's 1 million quid.
Yeah.
Okay, in 5 years. And some of us feel this is a bit of a liberty, because a colleague of mine, being like an investigative journalist, found the register of charities, trusts, and we got their financial statement.
Right.
Charleston's. Turns out they had 930,000 money in hand, 8.5 million in assets, and 500,000 revenue.
Right.
Their increases this lot. Why are we paying for it? I mean, it's obnoxious. In fact, it's a crime almost.
Do you think?
I think people do feel that. You know, us taxpayers.
Well,
You know, I have to tell you, you probably don't know this, but the district council here, which is led by the Greens,
Yeah.
is utterly incompetent, in my opinion. And I've got very good reasons for that, because I can say how incompetent they are. And I've got a terrible feeling that we're going to end up like Brighton was
Right.
2 years ago. But that's another story. The fact of the matter is that why are these Charleston people getting all of our money? Fine. Now, the next thing, what I'd like to talk about basically, is they've just now got a new exhibition down there, which ends up with the local lady. What's her name? What does it end up with, Keith?
Oh.
Virginia Woolf. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Now, I went to Nita and I said to her, that exhibition has been imported from outside, it's not local. Do you think that people who see that are going to bother to go up the hill to actually see yours?
Well, I do actually, because I've already had some people that have come to Charleston, and then they've also come up to the gallery. So I think it's a really good thing. I think it's going to bring in people that wouldn't normally come, particularly art world people. And I think it's really going to put Lewes on the map. And I think it's going to have a really great knock-on effect for all the galleries in Lewes.
Well, Nita seems to feel that she's only under threat if the local artists. So she doesn't want Charleston taking her local artists. So I think that is a worry for her. That's what she's told me anyway.
I just think there's so many great artists in Lewes. I really think
They're
it's
not that great. Some of them are, but
there are some really great artists in Lewes, and I don't think
they're not Picasso, for God's sake.
but I don't think that Charleston is going to impact on Nita's business. I really don't, and I don't know what Charleston have in mind. But the current two exhibitions there, I think, are not something that would be a competition, and I think they just bring money into the town in terms of all the local pubs and restaurants, and has a knock-on effect. So I think, I think it's good.
That's very good, because that's the sort of a kind of thing of there's a I don't know, but in this town there's a DFL thing
Yeah,
down from London.
I do know about that.
You know
yes.
about the DFLs?
Being a DFL myself.
Well, I said, when Pete Messer, the artist,
Yeah,
he used to keep going on for me about being a DFL.
did he?
I said, well, look,
He's
if
so
you don't
funny.
like me being a DFL, what about I become a filth? He says, what's that?
What's a Phil?
Failed in London, try Hastings.
Well, that's a new one on me.
Yeah. Well, I'm very pleased to see that you agree with. I mean, I can see where you're coming from. Well, obviously, I have a vested interest. Money's gone me. So, I mean, I think that, yeah, need to stand up. When she didn't have the money to pay the deposit because somebody did it like that, and I've actually sponsored a couple of exhibitions, like the River one.
Right, oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And I really want to feel that Charleston is not going to actually sort of go around snacking local artists and saying this, we're doing this. So you see what I mean?
I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, all the messaging that they've been putting out is to work with the community and to create a community space. And I think that the art that they're putting on is quite different to the art that's currently being put on. So I think it's a really brilliant breath of fresh air, really. And it's going to bring a whole new demographic to the town that are going to have money to spend.
That's
Hopefully.
a good point. That's a good point.
So yeah, I mean, all the bars and restaurants, they've had such a terrible time during the pandemic. It'd be really great to see if they can, have people on a day trip who want to come out and have a lovely lunch,
Well,
spend a bit of money on women's art, and spend some money in Nita's exhibition. She has such a high turnover, so every time somebody comes, I'll see something different. So yeah, I think it's exciting.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly done with Pete Mellissa. He's got enough money to go to Las Vegas and play the tables now. Keith, have you got anything to say?
A couple of things. I might as well get a couple of things off my chest. First of all, I think there is a good debate, and Stuart has come up with a good debate. Will Southampton, Charleston, actually take the zip out of local galleries, or will it attract a level so that it will boost local galleries? Now, if I can give you an example of the latter, I cut my teeth as a journalist in British Columbia, and many years ago. And in my day, there was a nightclub called The Cave, and it had all the top acts from California trying out before they went to Las Vegas. So I got to interview Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, Frankie Lane, you name it, all the 3 degrees, all the big ones. And what happened as a result was the next one, Izzy's, had people like Lulu.
Yeah.
The next level there, it actually boosted the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
But what they did was they made sure everybody knew about it.
Yeah.
Now, if this is going to happen here, these people at Charleston have started to open their mouths. I sent them an email. I haven't even given them a courtesy of the reply. And that is true of a lot of the so-called people who run things here at a high level. Everything is a straight bloody secret what they're doing. They will not talk. They won't actually communicate. Now that offends me because I'm a communicator. I've spent all my life communicating. So they don't have sympathy with me. So they're going to have me on their backs all the time.
You're talking about the Green
So
Party.
I'm delighted to see you here because you're breaking the mold. Nita broke the mold too. But you're breaking the mold. These people who've got lots of money and so on, they've got to break the mold as well. They cannot sit there as if they're in a castle. Just pick and choose who comes. We've already got the Alpha Company that does that. They're very bad for that.
Who is? Which goes?
The Alpha Company, Glyndebourne.
Oh, the opera company.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Is what I can't approve of is something coming and settling the middle of Lewis and not being part of the local scene.
Right.
So we're going to watch very carefully. Well, maybe it's going to be a few things very, very good. On the other hand, it may be that some of the fears of the local artists will be fulfilled. It'll be devastating for them. It's like the high street. I get fed up of hearing all these traders but going on about how difficult things are and so on and so forth. We had 3 forums here
Yeah.
in which we were given the opportunity to come and to talk to each other and to go on telly and so on and so forth. We had 1 take-up.
Really?
Yes. And yet, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I'm furious about these things. And I believe the situation now is they must prove themselves to us
Right.
rather than the other way around, which it would have been if they had been open for them. So you can see how I get a bit furious about it.
No, I can understand that
It's all right.
completely.
I'm known as the mouth at Raws, so don't be surprised if I yell and shout and scream and stuff on everything. But that's the way I see it. So I'm delighted you're here, and I hope you'll come back.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much
Yeah.
for inviting me. It's
Yeah, I
really
mean, every time you
exciting.
get a new artist, well,
Yes, that would be really good.
yeah, be very happy,
Yeah,
very happy.
absolutely.
When I came here in 1990, this was a vital town.
Mm,
It's lost its vitality.
mm.
And I think that some of us have got to try hard to put that vitality back. And it is part of the way of doing it.
Yeah, but you've got all kinds of problems as well. I mean, it's the tribalism is a big canker for the place. Like, to give you an example, like back in the day, bonfire was coming, and I was in the back bar of the Brewers Arms.
Yeah.
And a guy was dressed up as a cavalier.
Yeah.
Right, and he said, "Oh, how long have you been here?" And I said, "Oh, I travel a lot, so let's say 46 years." And he said, "Not enough. I was born here." And I nearly said to him, "Does that mean you can kill a few bloody Protestants?" And the fact is that there was a lot of people, particularly at the middle class, because of that, just because they were born here,
Yeah.
or because they were someone
Mm,
that they were in.
mm.
Because we were born here.
Mm,
And I think this is absolutely wrong,
mm.
because it's, why should somebody
People moving out of London.
Yeah.
Be both to come and see them.
Oh, my wife's back. Yeah, so she's she's an illustrator really, but she can paint very well. I picked up people in the pub. I was in there one day, and the guy came up to me, and he said, "Oh, I heard you talking about energy. What's your name?" And I said, "You're not the Gestapo, are you?" And he said, "No, no." Anyway, turns out he was a mortgage broker.
Right.
And I said, "Oh, I could do for you. Come with me." Who was the other ones we've had on, Keith?
Somewhere.
A lot of them have been my friends, aren't they?
Yeah. You've had a whole string of very distinguished people.
Yeah.
One was your publisher friend. He's an author.
I know.
Yeah. And he's got a friend who is his publisher. And they had a very good session together. But our theme is local, but not parochial. So we try hard to do things that are wide and interesting just to Lewis, that are of interest to Louisians.
Yeah.
One of the interesting, because there's a lot of analysis going on at the moment, because nobody knows where television is going to go.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things is you can do a program. For instance, if we came down to your gallery
Yeah.
and do a program on your gallery that of specific interest, is that somebody in New Zealand watching who's got the same interest will watch that program.
Yeah. No, I think that's great.
So we're glad that we go.
Yeah, well, you
Okay.
should come to the show. So the Nessie Ram show we've got on at the moment is really interesting. So it's all about recycling. Everything's recycled, and it's all about there's questions about climate change, there's questions about nature, there's questions about human legacy.
Yeah.
It's a powerful show.
Tell us exactly where you are again.
So we're just
around the corner.
on Fisher Street, the number 3 Fisher Street.
Number 3 Fisher Street.
Lewis,
Right.
yes.
Make a note of that, everybody. Number 3 Fisher Street.
WIA Gallery.
Now.
Well, thank you so much. This has been really lovely.
I'll get my wife to come along and she can actually, but she's not shy about these things, isn't she?
No, nothing at least.
Well, we've got an open call at the moment, so we're asking artists to send in work. So that's what she's interested in.
Absolutely.
Send me some stuff. Yeah.
Right. This eats up material, so we got lots of capacity, and hopefully we're daft enough, we're quirky enough to make things interesting.
I'll second that.
Actually, strange enough,
We've actually turned over all the politics about two things. One is Charleston, the other one was human nature. I don't know if you know about that. Oh, we led the field with those two, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. And also, Keith will tell you who was the first person about energy matters.
Oh, well, he was way ahead of the field on the
Yeah.
energy. Yeah.
Well, I knew all about it. I've been writing about it for 11 years. You know.
So you involved in the climate hub as well on the High Street? Oh no, it's not the High Street. It's School Hill.
I'm not, because I think that people like Matthew Bird as the mayor and a green person. I am very green.
Yeah.
My website is called Green Barrier. It's a website about investment in renewable energy. Okay, but the Green Party here is incompetent to a fantastic degree. And when they talk about, for example, I'll give you an example. 2019. Okay. I went to a sustainability meeting done by Greens at Matthew Bird in 2019, and he said we're going to have 0 carbon emissions by 2030. I said, well, how are you going to do that? I said, well, we're going to have electric charging points. This is 2019. 2003, 23, there was only 8 charging points in the
Right.
But Lib Dems, who I'm a member of, we got it so that they got 64 charging places. Most of them went to New Haven and Seaford.
Right.
Yeah. See, these green people, the problem with the Green Party basically is they're a party of protest.
Yeah.
And like the Extinction Rebellion, they've got very, very good goals, but they don't achieve anything. They don't know how to achieve anything. Fine. I mean, it's what's in it? And the thing is that the political situation was like, until the last election, the place was run by a coalition of the Lib Dems and the Green Party.
Yeah.
And then when the Greens, so I said that the Greens will get more votes than Lib Dems. And for once they got 17 seats. Lib Dems got 15 and the Labour got 9.
Right.
And so what happened was, as the Greens wouldn't agree to go in with the Lib Dems, they tried to co-opt the Labour Party. And what happened was the head of the Green, Zoe Nicholson, decided she was fed up with her husband, John Denny, who was also a Green, because Zoe Nicholson had become an item with Chris Chilton, who was the head of the Labour Party. So we've now got
This all sounds
So
quite
we're-
scandalous.
so
We
listen-
make him a
listen-
new
so
story.
love moves, goes above politics. And now we've got this utterly incompetent Green Party. For example, they've moved to bloody Neahaven.
Right.
All of them. Why have they gone down there?
I might have an interesting guest. Maybe I'll have a think.
Interesting.
An interesting guest for you from the
Okay.
Green Party. I'll have a think.
Yeah. Excellent. They say of us, we like Marmite. A lot of people hate us. A lot of people love us, but nobody ever forgets us. Say toodle pip.
Doodle bit.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Toodle pip. And we've had a lot of